Oh man, so whilst Bitcoin continues to scrap at 42,000 mark, FANTOM is forming a new chart pattern which is going to come to a climax within the next 10 days. So make sure you watch this video to the very end. I'm going to share with you this new chart pattern that FANTOM is forming. But first, let's take a quick look here at Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is still scrapping. We're currently sat at 42,000 flat, trying to hold the 41,500 horizontal support level we've had here, which we've now tested a great number of times here on the 4-hourly chart. And now things are still starting to look very weak, guys. I'm not going to fall for this. We've had a strong 4-hourly candle, just the one previous to this, which picked us back up from about 41,100. It was getting very bleak there, and then picked us right back up. We wicked as high as 42.5 intraday today. Currently we're sat here just hovering, 41, just below and above 42,000 here on Bitcoin. Now, like I said, we are not out of the woods until firstly we got to get to 43.5, but really I want to create a higher high, like I said, above here at 44,500 here on Bitcoin. So if and until I see that, I continue to maintain a negative bias here on Bitcoin. We've still got fear and greed index showing us a score of 24, the same as yesterday, which shows that things aren't getting worse per se, but they're not getting better. People are waiting to see if we lose this 40,000 mark, or if we're going to have to head down lower into further lower price points here on Bitcoin. And like I said, your next kind of support line is coming all the way down to this wedge. You can see 39.38. You got another horizontal support here at the 40,000 psychological level. But once you lose that, then you're heading closer down to 38,300 here on Bitcoin. Excuse me. So what are we seeing here on FANTOM? What does that mean for FANTOM? Are we heading to the upside? Because I've just seen a new chart pattern, which I have to share with you. And what we're seeing here, if I head over to the 4-hourly, is an ascending triangle, very interestingly. And what you can see, this is an ascending triangle. We've managed to get a really important 2 bounces here. Okay, so you can see here on the 4-hourly, 1 bounce there, came back to test, 2 bounces there. Okay, so we created almost a W pattern here on the bounce, which just shows that we've managed to hold this level here at about well, first time it tested was 270, second time it tested was 277, and hopefully we can carry on with the green candle here. Look, it's closing as we speak. There you go. That 4-hourly candle closed as a red doji candle, which you can see right there. Don't you love it when that happens? And now we're going to open up the next red candle. Not too bad, to be honest. We didn't push back down to the resistance level, which is good, and maybe we can have a strong 4-hourly candle here if we can break, looking very intraday here now, guys. This is small timescale trading. If we can break 304, that's going to set us up for a good move up to 314 again to retest this support level. We broke it the previous time and we came back down. Can we break it here and then head to the top of our channel at about 344? That is what we're looking for here on FANTOM. Now, like I said, guys, we've got to remember what's the macro environment right here. And the macro environment, like I just showed you, is not so great. So whilst this pattern looks fantastic, whilst it looks good to the upside, we've got to maintain downward expectations as well. In other words, we've got to be prepared for downwards expectations. And that can come in the form of a potential head and shoulders pattern, right? Like, could we see this kind of an effect where you have head? You could create, could we create that kind of a pattern to the downside? Maybe. But more importantly, what I'm looking for is if we do lose this support line, we could be heading down to 237 and then 208. So keep those levels in your mind and make sure you're comfortable with those levels, because where Bitcoin is sitting right now, it can flip within a minute. You could lose a 40,000 psychological resistance on Bitcoin. You could be heading into 39. And trust me, fear and greed index will be bad. And my expectation, even though I love FANTOM, it's not going to decouple and have a green day. I'll be super surprised if that happens. More likely is you're going to head down to lower price targets here on FANTOM. But if Bitcoin, the positive scenario is if Bitcoin can create a floor at 42, like we're seeing, if it can create a higher high at 44,500, then everything is looking good for FANTOM. Everything else from a FANTOM environment, what FANTOM can control, what the FANTOM bulls can control, is in control and looking really good right now. It just needs the catalyst of Bitcoin. That is why I posted the video yesterday, which says, will Bitcoin ruin this for FANTOM? Because at the moment, that's the traffic light right now. It's just Bitcoin. We just need some, even a couple of percent greens on Bitcoin for FANTOM to complete this pattern and finish off. And guess what, guys? We can do this right now. What you can see is if you take the measured move on this, just do it here with you guys very crudely. If you put it at the point of the breakout, let's say we use the full time to break out, we could break out earlier, in which case you get a slightly lower price target, but this will take you to 478, call it 480-ish, 476 here on your Phantom, okay? Now, the other thing I want to show you is, either way, if we stay within this channel, if Bitcoin doesn't have a disaster and Bitcoin wants to carry on sideways, and we carry on in this channel here on Phantom, we can see here that from where we are today, let's see if we can take that, you are looking at about 10 to 11 days here for Phantom to make up its mind on which way it's breaking out of this pattern. Okay, so we need to monitor this. We're forming a good pattern here now. We've managed to bounce from here. Will we get the rise through 314? Maybe a retest of 314 before heading to the top of the channel. That would be a great scenario, guys, because not only would we have secured the 314 level, but you would have created a higher high above this high here, which is very important. And that high is sitting at about 337. And it'd be really good if we can post another high before then heading to your all-time highs at the green line, okay, which comes closer to the apex of our triangle. So a lot of bullish intent here from Phantom. Let's take out our EMA ribbon. And you can see on the EMA ribbon here on the 4-hourly, what we can see is we still are technically bearish until we get a close above the EMA ribbon. Again, just want to zoom in, guys. Sorry, it's been a bit difficult here with us today. There. So you can see this doji candle, which just closed as we were recording. We need a close above the EMA ribbon. So somewhere 290, 295, a close on the 4-hourly, and we'll be able to get bearish back on our EMA ribbon and ride to the top of the channel, just like we did in this motion here. Okay, guys, can we get a similar thing? Flip our EMA ribbon and head to the upside. What are we seeing on the daily? Because the daily is also going to give us some interesting clues. And on the daily, you can see that the bounce from this point here on our wedge is a perfect bounce before our EMA ribbon. Similarly with this for our daily candle today, we've not touched our EMA ribbon. Still super bullish here on Phantom. You can see despite, if I just head over to Bitcoin to give you context, we've been below our EMA ribbon for a long time here. If we click on Ethereum, which we've not pulled up an Ethereum chart for a little while, red for a long time here below our EMA ribbon. So the fact, let's pull up Atom, layer 1 solution, interoperability play above its EMA ribbon. Cardano was below for a very long time, similar to Bitcoin, just had its recent move with Sunday swap coming up on Thursday. Okay, so you can see here Algorand, another one we covered earlier today, up and down, confused, bearish, sideways action, not really above its EMA ribbon. So when you look at the Phantom chart, you can see that this is phenomenal given the state of the wider market and what Bitcoin is doing. This is very exponential and a good move here, not far from our all-time highs when many other projects are bleeding a lot. So for me, I'm not currently accumulating any more Phantom, guys. These are expensive prices right now on Phantom. We're close to all-time highs when you've got projects which, let me just rephrase that. So when I say it's not overvalued, it's still completely undervalued in terms of other great layer 1 solutions. Okay, guys, so that's clear. So if I didn't have any Phantom, I'd be looking at building a position, right, at retracement levels. But right now, given where it's at and given how much Phantom I hold right now, I will continue to look at other cheap alternatives that are far away from its all-time highs, that are far more closer to its 200 moving average. Look at the distance. This is a good thing, by the way, on Phantom. Look at the distance away from its 200 EMA ribbon. Look at this, the teal line here. Massive distance, massive separation, which shows, this was the perfect time to buy. When we were covering it here, these are the moments to buy. This is when you let it work. And then when you get retracements down, when nobody wants to talk about it, that's when we pick up, okay, guys? Similar to what we were talking about in Algorand on that previous video. So things are looking super good here on Phantom. Loving the pattern that it's forming currently right now. If we switch over to the weekly as well, just to give you guys the full context, I want to give you guys all these golden nuggets right here. No hiding any information from the family. You can see here plenty of extension here on our weekly. On the weekly, we look super good right now. Again, imagine you accumulating in here. That's what you want to do. You don't want to be accumulating at the top here when you're about to break all-time highs, and just let your coins do their work. When they come back down, want to test the EMA ribbon, want to test the longer-term 200 EMA ribbon, which is this teal line, that's when you want to be jumping in on Phantom, on any project, right? That's how you want to be doing it. Let me go back to the daily briefly, and let's also bring out our VPVR, because that may give us some good details. And as we suspect, guys, here on our VPVR, you can see that where we are at currently, let me just make this clearer. Let me just bring this over. Now, as you can see, this is where the volume is traded, right? So you can see where we're acting right now is where there's a whole bunch of volume. If we can clear through this level at 314, we will see a bit more, apart from the resistance at all-time highs, which you always get at all-time highs, we will have some green grass for Phantom to stretch its legs and run. So like I said, we just need Bitcoin to get moving now. If Bitcoin struggles and loses the 40,000 mark, we've got to look naturally for retracements to the downside and look at topping up our positions. If not, if Bitcoin manages to create that floor and create a higher high at 44,500, start heading to the upside, things will look pretty good because we've got a lovely pattern forming here, an ascending triangle, which 75% of the time should break to the upside. And we can see our technical price target is here, sits at 470. So we'll continue to monitor. I've given you that chart pattern nice and early. It may fall out of the pattern. That's how technical analysis works, but I have to provide that to you, share that with you guys, and we can watch it play out together. Naturally, I'm cautious sharing a bullish pattern when Bitcoin is in such disarray. But again, I show you what I see in the charts. I show you what I'm forming, and then we just have to use our common sense to say, okay, if Bitcoin has a down day, we're going to crash out of this, potentially back to the bottom of our wedge, back down to our support levels at 208. But if Bitcoin can manage to have a bullish week, bullish next 10 days, then we will form closer and closer to the apex of this triangle, and any breakout to the upside could be a nice explosive breakout to the upside. So there you have it, guys. There is your technical and fundamental blend update on Phantom. If you appreciate this, then as always, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. If you want to support this channel a little bit more, consider becoming a member. Hit the join button, because a lot of you guys ask me, do I have a private stock group, etc.? No, but become a member here on YouTube. That way you get a badge next to your name which shows you were here in the early days, but also you get access to our community thread here on YouTube, which is for members only. And there you can ask me questions on your favorite coins, your favorite cryptos, your portfolio, and even coins which we don't manage to cover on this channel due to time. As always, link in the pinned comment will be the link to our free public Discord server, guys. Can we head into there, meet like-minded people, share our favorite chart patterns, really grow a community which is focused around learning about crypto. No pumping, no dumping. I can easily come to this and say, Phantom to the moon, $10. It's not about that. Those of you who have watched these videos for long enough will understand this channel does not do that. It doesn't bring that type of vibe. We're here to build sustainable wealth in crypto and not just attract a few views for the short term. So as always, guys, if you appreciate that, don't forget to hit the like button. Can we get 200 likes on this Phantom video, guys? If we can smash up 200 likes, if you're watching this video and you see that we're not at 200 yet, do me a favor, scroll up, hit like button. Doesn't cost you a penny, and it really helps me out. As always, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.